Okay, guys, Panzer J back in Operation No Time to Die. We are at turn 2, so it's 2.1 for Germany officially. And Germany is now up to 5 tech rolls. We upgraded a medium factory to a major last turn. So that was our 4th major factory. And then we have our one free roll for technological superiority. So we got 5 tech rolls this turn. So we are going to shoot for advanced artillery, advanced mechs, long-range aircraft, radar, and wartime economy. So let's go ahead and do our rolls first. So we will go for advanced artillery. We're at stage 1. We need 7 or higher. And we got a 6, so we missed that one. Then advanced mechs is a 7 or higher at stage 1. And we got a 2, so we missed that one. Long-range aircraft, 7 or higher at stage 1. We got a 3, so we missed that one. Radar, 7 or higher. We got an 11, so we hit that. And then wartime economy is 7 or higher. And we got a 1. So after our good round 1, 3 of 4, we're only 1 of 5 this turn. So put stage 1 down for radar. And that will finish off tech. Now on to purchases. Germany has $23 to spend this turn, and we're going to spend all of it. We're going to purchase 2 fighters for 10 apiece. That's 20. And then we're going to lend-lease a cavalry to the Nationalists in Spain for 3. So that's our full $23. And then for attacks, we actually have 3 attacks this turn. So the first one is going to be over here in Central Europe. We are going to take 2 infantry, 2 of the regular infantry that we have in Austria, and they're going to move over 1 to Slovakia. So that will annex Slovakia for Germany. The mountain infantry that is in Austria is going to stay there. So the 2 regular infantry move over to Slovakia. So that's up $1 for the Germans. And it also increases both the French from 7 to 8 and the UK from 12 to 13. Okay, so that's 1 combat move. And then the other 2 are going to be in Spain. So the first one is going to be from this cavalry in Austria-Navarre. Cavalry does not suffer from movement in mountains, so it's going to go 1 to Leon Castile and then 2 into Andrea-Alicia. And 1 of the artillery is going to come down from Leon Castile into Andrea-Alicia. And that isn't a mountain territory, so shouldn't be any negative to my attack. So his cavalry will defend it at 2, and my artillery and my cavalry will both attack at a 3. And then we're going into Madrid. So the infantry from Austria-Navarre goes in. So does both infantry from Leon Castile. So does the artillery from Leon Castile, and so does all 3 fighters. I spoke with Knights Templar. He does want to scramble his fighter from Catalonia. So he will have a medium bomber, a fighter, and 2 infantry in this battle. He's in a city, so his infantry are +1 on defense, so that both infantry will be 5s. And since I'm attacking in mountains, my ground units are -1. So 2 of my infantry drop from 2 to 1. The other infantry stays at a 2 because it's paired with the 1 artillery. And the 1 artillery drops from a 3 to a 2. So those are going to be our 3 attacks. So we already went over to Slovakia. And I'll change out the yellow fighter and the 2 yellow infantry at the end of the turn. So let's get on to the 2 combat. So the first one, we'll do the easier one first. So I have an artillery and a cavalry attacking in a non-mountain territory against a defending cavalry. So my artillery gets a first strike at a 3, and we rolled a 7, so we missed. Then the cavalry attacking at a 3 gets an 11 and misses. His cavalry at a 2 gets a 4, so misses. Now no more first strikes, so now we're up to just 2 3s. And we got a 2 and a 10, so we hit him. And he will fire back at a 2 and get a 1, so he gets a hit. So I'm going to go ahead and... what do we want to lose? I think I'm actually going to lose the artillery. So I'm going to take off the artillery, and he will lose his cavalry. So we take Andrea Alicia. So now, in Madrid, I have 3 fighters. He has 1, so there's going to be air superiority on the first round of combat. So if I get any hits with any of my 3 fighters, he has to choose aircraft as a casualty, and I would assume he would choose the medium bomber as the casualty first, since it defends less than the fighter. And then if he gets a hit with his fighter, I have to choose one of my fighters. So first I have 1 artillery with a first strike at a 2, and we rolled an 8, so we missed that. So now I have 3 fighters at 6, and we got a 3, 4, and a 9. So I got 2 hits with my aircraft, so he has to lose 2 aircraft in return. So that'll be his fighter and his medium bomber. And then I have still my 3 infantry, one of which is a 2 because it pairs with the artillery. And we rolled a 9, so we missed him. And then we've got the last 2 infantry at 1s. And we rolled a 9 and 8, so we missed there. So I did 2 hits altogether, and they were with my plane, so he's got to lose his fighter and his medium bomber. So now his fighter in return for air superiority gets an 11, so he missed there. And then he's got 2 infantry at 5s because of the city, and a 3 and an 8. So he got 1 hit. So I'm going to choose an infantry as my casualty. And then he's got his medium bomber at a 4 and rolled a 7, missed there. So after the first round of combat, his 2 aircraft are gone, and 1 of my infantry is gone. So now we will go to round 2. 3 fighters I have at 6s. And an 8, 9, and a 12, so I missed all 3 of those. Then I have an artillery and an infantry at 2, and I got a 2 and an 11, so 1 hit, so he loses 1 of his 2 remaining infantry. And then I have 1 infantry left at a 1, and I rolled a 4, missed there. So now he gets his 2 infantry at 5s, and an 8 and a 12, so he missed on both. So he is down to a single infantry. So 3 fighters on round 3 at 6. And we got 2 2s and an 8. So we killed off his last infantry. And his infantry at a 5 rolls a 12. So he missed there. So we take Madrid, 2 infantry, and an artillery are in Madrid. So that is it for our 3 combat moves. So now on to non-combat. Just fly all 3 of the fighters that went 1 space to Rome. Fly all those back to Leon Castile. And then we have a sub here in C-Zone 33. So it's going to come down 1, 2, 3 into C-Zone 80. Then we've got this sub up here in C-Zone. Where is it? C-Zone 13. It can move 4 because of the major naval facility. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down to C-Zone 48. This coastal sub can move 2 because of the major naval facility. So it's going to go 1 to the English Channel and 2 over here to Sea Zone 24. Let's see what else. We are going to send a fighter from Berlin, which is on the card over there, and that's going to fly to West Germany. The medium bomber in West Germany is going to go to Berlin. So they kind of just swapped places. And I think that is it up here for the Germans. Everything else is going to stay there. We moved our planes back. And I think that is it for non-combat. These 2 ships are going to go from 33 to 34. So they move 1 back to Sea Zone 34. And that should be it for non-combat. So now on to unit placement. We've got our Lend-Lease cavalry, and that will be dropped off in Leon Castile. And then our 2 fighters we are placing in West Germany. Okay, so just to recap, in Spain, we have 3 fighters and a cavalry in Leon Castile, 2 infantry and an artillery in Madrid, and then a cavalry in Andalusia. And I have to do my recruitment roll for the Spanish. So we are now up to 4 territories. We took 2, and we had 2. So let's go ahead and roll for our recruitment. We need a 4 or less. And we got a 6, so we didn't hit that. And then just to recap a little bit else in Europe for Germany. In West Germany now, there are 2 infantry, a light armor, a cavalry, and 4 fighters are now in West Germany. Down in Slovakia is going to be 4 infantry and a fighter. Everything else pretty much stayed the same. So that is it for Germany here on turn number 2. They are up to $23. They did not save any from last turn. So that is what they collect and what they will have to spend on turn number 3. Turning things over to Knights Templar and the common turn. We'll see you guys for Italy 2.6.